Hello, my wonderful friends. Megas here on a beautiful day in Asha. If you're brand new to the channel, we're Zoroastrians. We are the Magi, the original religion. But today, we're going to actually be talking about Sufism. You probably saw the title of this video. We're going to get to that. We're going to be going through Sham's 40 Laws of Love. And what I want you to get from this message is to a place where you fully allow God's love into your life, into your heart, into your mind. And the reason for that is because when your heart and mind is so full of love, you'll see that the world isn't so scary. You'll see that the world is a gift. The world is beautiful. You set down the fear and the anger and the guilt and the shame, and you just allow yourself to be loved by God. Let that love completely envelop you. I'm talking so much that it becomes you. You become that love where there's no separation. And my God, the magic, the beauty, it actually makes me emotional thinking about this. It's so beautiful. And the older I get, the more I see it, the more light I allow in, the more light I see. My friends, is it really possible that our thoughts and beliefs can influence the outside world? My friends, it is so true. So you saw in the title, I love to do fun things that'll stick in your mind. We have, they say, up to 60,000 thoughts a day, most of them negative. And so once a day, sometimes twice a day, I come and try to give you a good thought, right? To try to counteract those 60,000 negative thoughts. My friends, so I try to do it in a way that's going to stick in your mind. Maybe you'll laugh a little bit. Maybe you'll cry a little bit. But it goes to the heart. And the next day, out of those 60,000, you'll remember the good thought, the true thought, the real thought. Because our goal is to live in truth, in the real that's above all that seems real, in the perfect Creator's perfect idea that we call Asha. I'm going to try to do this video in a way that's fun because it will be long. But you know what? Long is good. I don't know when it became where like short and quick videos is the good thing. My friends, I want you to immerse yourself in these writings. My friends, they are spirit and they are truth and they are that love, the very frequency of love. And as you spend time in it, right, it like I said, it envelops you. It becomes you. You start to vibrate with that frequency of that love, that peace, and that joy, and that goodness, my friend. So will you guys do me a favor? If you make it to the end of this video, at the end say, Megas, I'm here. Maybe throw a I love you in there. I love that. You can't go wrong with an Asha is. I'm going to do this fun, though. So I'm going to do some reading, some teaching, some praying, but I'm going to put some beautiful Sufi music in between to break it up. My friends, it's some of the most beautiful songs, and they're taking these lyrics, these words, and Shams talks about this, the words that we put out in the world, they're eternal, they're powerful, they're creative, and they put it to the most beautiful music, and I'll put the lyrics along with it. Just beautiful. And you'll see Asha in these writings. Shams was Persian, and I see Sufism is like, well, you see the Zoroastrian influence in it. And in every different discipline or religion or denomination, there will be those those mystics, those saints, those masters, that they go so deep to the spirit of it. You'll see in the 40 Laws of Love, Shams touches on this, how some people will take, say, the Bible or the Quran just for what it says. Some people will take it as an analogy, right? Go in and kill the giants in the land. It's talking about killing the sins inside of your mind, But Shams talks about going to the fourth place that is so deep you can't express it with words. But we try really hard here on this channel, and I'm going to try again today to the best I can. And so I was asking Spirit, just flow through me. I just want to be a vessel for Spirit to flow through me, say the words that you need to hear. Let me pull up the 40 Laws of Love. Shams, by the way, if you're not familiar, he was the teacher of Rumi. And I'm looking at my shelves here, and the largest shelf I have packed with books is on Sufism. And it just dawned on me today what an influence Sufism has been on my life, and I know it'll bring you blessings. So law or rule number 1, how we see God is a direct reflection of how we see ourselves. Oh, don't try to rush this. Listen with your heart and let the vibration and the energy and the spirit of these words fill you. How we see God is a direct reflection of how we see ourselves. If God brings to mind mostly fear and blame, it means there is too much fear and blame welled inside of us. If we see God as full of love and compassion, so are we. Oh, right out of the gate. I'll tell you what kind of popped into my mind there. Meister Eckhart, he said, any talk of God that doesn't comfort you is a lie. God is that highest principle of good, and he is solely and perfectly good. There's no evil in him. How do you see God? This is the thing we see with the true prophets and masters. They saw God as that loving Father, that all good Spirit. And they tried to teach their religion that they had the idea and the image of God wrong. And that's why they usually ended up getting crucified and killed. But you know what? Their true selves, we've been talking about this for a couple of days, cannot be harmed. Your true self is in God, outside of this body. Cannot die. You cannot die. This body will go away, but you cannot die. You cannot be harmed. You cannot sin. The true you, that spirit, that divine spark that is pure, it was created innocent and pure and always will be. And it doesn't matter. I mean, it matters if you want to live in the dream or a nightmare state, but it's all just imagination. Imagining what it would be to do these things in this arena, in this game of life. My friends, but you never actually touch the evil. It can never actually touch you. And that should bring you such peace and remove guilt and shame. Those things that you condemn yourself for, you, in truth, the true you has never done it. You know, I'm thinking of almost like a video game, right? Maybe in the video game, you're playing a war game and you step on a landmine and you see your leg blow past your head, but it didn't touch you. And that's how it is, my friends. You are in God. You are safe. And you are doing something beautiful here by removing the lie and illusion. We talked about that the last 2 days, so I won't get deep into that. But you guys, if you didn't see the last two videos, please go watch that. Rule number 2, the path to truth is a labor of the heart and not of the head. Make your heart your primary guide, not your mind. Meet, challenge, and ultimately prevail over your psyche with heart. Rule 3. And with these rules, some are going to just, there's 40 of them, and I promise you, some of them, at least for myself, were so beautiful, spoke to my heart so deep. Some I didn't fully understand, if I'm being honest. Some I didn't feel like really related to me. But there will be ones in here that will, where you're at, will change your life. And as I read the other ones I don't fully understand, I know it's planting seeds in my heart. And when I need them, it'll be there. Rule 3, you can study God through everything and everyone in the universe, because God is not confined to a mosque, synagogue, or church. But if you are still in need of knowing where exactly his abode is, there is only one place to look for him: in the heart of a true lover. I want you to remember that one, because we're going to go deep into that concept there. Rule number 4, intellect and love are made of different materials. Intellect ties people in knots and risks nothing, but love dissolves all tangles and risks everything. Intellect is always cautious and advises, beware too much ecstasy, whereas love says, oh, never mind, take the plunge. Intellect does not easily break down, whereas love can effortlessly reduce itself to rubble. But treasures are hidden among the ruins. A broken heart hides treasures. Beautiful. I'm going to play a little Sufi music, and then we'll be back with Rule 5. Could you feel that? Could you see the connection to Zoroastrianism, to Asha, to spirit, to truth? So beautiful. All right, we're on Rule 5. Most of problems of the world stem from linguistic mistakes and simple misunderstandings. Don't ever take words at face value. When you step into the zone of love, language as we know it becomes obsolete. That which cannot be put into words can only be grasped through silence. Rule 6. Wow, Rule 5 is still. Do you feel that, guys? There's such a deep truth. And it's nothing I could explain or teach out, but something you feel and you know. Rule 6, loneliness and solitude are two different things. When you are lonely, it is easy to delude yourself into believing that you are on the right path. Solitude is better for us, as it means being alone without feeling lonely. But eventually it is the best to find a person who will be your mirror. Remember, only in another person's heart can you truly see yourself and the presence of God within you. Rule 7. Whatever happens in your life, no matter how troubling things might seem, do not enter the neighborhood of despair. Even when all the doors remain closed, God will open up a new path only for you. Be thankful. It is easy to be thankful when all is well. A Sufi is thankful not only for what he has been given, but also for all that he has been denied. I love this one. This is Rule 8. This is powerful. Patience does not mean to passively endure. It means to look at the end of a process. What does patience mean? It means to look at the thorn and see the rose, to look at the night and see the dawn. Impatience means to be short-sighted is to not be able to see the outcome, The lovers of God never run out of patience, for they know that time is needed for the crescent moon to become full. My God, patience is seeing the outcome, knowing the outcome, that love wins. It's beautiful. That's where patience comes from, not long suffering, or how did he say it? Not to passively endure, but it's a means to look at the end of a process. I thought that hit me good. Rule 9 says, east, west, south, or north makes little difference. No matter what your destination, just be sure to make every journey a journey within. If you travel within, you'll travel the whole wide world and beyond. The midwife knows that when there is no pain, the way for the baby cannot be opened and the mother cannot give birth. Likewise, for a new self to be born, hardship is necessary. Just as clay needs to go through the intense heat to become strong, love can only be perfected in pain. And you know how I was saying, I don't understand all of these. But I read with an open heart and mind. Rule 11. And can I touch on 10 one more time? Someone might have just heard that and they completely get it. And that's the beauty of it. And your understanding of it helps me to understand. Shams talks about this. And one, you could go to the comments and explain what it means to you. But also, we're all connected. And when someone close to me, they understand it, even without saying a word, in that silent place in mind, I'll start to pick up on it. That's the beauty of being in this family of light. Rule 11, the quest for love changes user. The quest for love changes user. There's no seeker among those who search for love who has not matured on the way. The moment you start looking for love, you start to change within and without. See, I get that one. All right, let's play some more beautiful Sufi music, and we'll be back with Rule 12. just touches me so deep. I love reading Sufi poetry, but when it's put to music, it goes somewhere deep. And to see their passion and love for spirit and truth, it's very inspiring. I love it so much. So we're on Rule 12. We're getting real close to Rule 17, which kind of started this whole video. I think you guys will get a little laugh out of it, but also I think there's so much to be learned in it. There are more fake gurus and false teachers in this world than the numbers of stars in the visible universe. Don't confuse power-driven, self-centered people with true mentors. A genuine spiritual master will not direct your attention to himself or herself and will not accept absolute obedience or utter admiration from you, but instead will help you to appreciate and admire your inner self. Oh, this is beautiful. True mentors are as transparent as glass. They let the light of God pass through them. Wow. Beautiful. Rule number 13. Try not to resist the changes. Instead, let life live through you, and do not worry that your life is turning upside down. How do you know that the side you are used to is better than the one to come? I think the older you get, the more you see the truth in that. Rule 14, God is busy with the completion of your work. That is beautiful. God is busy. I thought he was going to say with his work. God is busy with the completion of your work, both outwardly and inwardly. He is fully occupied with you. Every human being is a work in progress that is slowly but inexorably moving toward perfection. We are each an unfinished work of art, both waiting and striving to be completed. God deals with each of us separately because humanity is fine art of skilled penmanship where every single dot is equally important for the entire picture. Oh, do you feel how much God loves you? It's easy to love a perfect God, Rule 15, unblemished and infallible that he is. What is far more difficult is to love fellow human beings with all their imperfection and defects. Remember, one can only know what one is capable of loving. There is no wisdom without love. Unless we learn to love God's creation, we can neither truly love nor truly know God. Wow. Rule 16, real faith is the one inside. The rest simply washes off. There's only one type of dirt that cannot be cleansed with pure water, and that is the stain of hatred and bigotry, contaminating the soul. You can purify your body through abstinence and fasting, but only love will purify your heart. Beautiful. All right, Rule 17. The whole universe is contained within a single human being, you. This is a lot. We're going to spend a little bit of time on this. The whole universe is contained within a single human being, you. Think about that. Everything you have contact with happens right inside of here. Good or bad. It makes me think of Asha 12. It says, there's nothing for me outside of myself. I remember I've looked too long. I had to go inside. And there I found Jesus, Seoshant, the God mind. All the good I was looking for. It's inside of you. The whole universe that appears outside The whole universe is inside of you. Your contact with gods and devils, good and evil, all the different stories playing out, governments, religion. You'll see this. It's all happening inside your mind. In truth, all is mind. All right, this gets heavy. I think you'll get a kick out of it, and then I'll share my little story. Everything that you see around, including the things that you might not be fond of, and even the people you despise or abhor, is present within you in varying degrees. Therefore, do not look for Shaitan. That's their way of saying the devil or Satan. It sounds really cool, though, the way they say it. Shaitan. Do not look for Shaitan outside yourself either. The devil is not an extraordinary force that attacks from without. It is an ordinary voice within. If you set to know yourself fully, facing with honesty and hardness, it's real easy for us to go inside and acknowledge the Seoshant, the God mind, the Jesus, the Savior, the good in us. But Shams here is saying there's no outside force, the devil. It's not real, right? It's not substance, not the real above all real. It's not truth. Anything that's not truth is the lie and illusion. It's all happening inside your mind, that devil. If we can transmute the evil in us, it'll change it on the outside. If you can have a change of heart and mind, it truly changes your outside world. And guys, I've seen it so much in my life as I get older. My life is so beautiful. And it's been a gradual process of changing my heart and mind. I want you to think about the governments that we don't like, politics. We're so upset that they poison the world, that they would build bombs that could blow up the whole earth. What is wrong with them? But you realize the governments are just a reflection of what goes on in your mind. The perversions and lust that you see and judge and condemn in others, what's inside of you? And so that brings me to the title of this. I went to a Diddy freak-off party in my mind. My friends, as we're seeing all this on TV and these stars and the things they did, I started thinking, that's nothing compared to some of the filth I've imagined in my own mind. The freak-off parties I've had in my heart and mind. And it makes me, of course, want to cleanse my mind and let that heal. But it also makes me not want to judge them. It makes me want to send them the gift of God, love, and understanding. That we're all in this together. Yeah, you got caught. Maybe you did it on the outside. But how many people have thought those things in their hearts and minds and fantasies? How many people that condemn the governments to win a fight, with your own family and friends that you say you love, wouldn't push the nuke button just to win the fight and war and blow up your whole home and family and friendship and relationship just because you want to win. We got to take care of the devils inside of us before we can remove the devils outside of us. What is inside of us will be reflected on the outside in your religions, in your governments, in your Diddy freak-off parties. Oh, my God, my God. Is that true, though? Will you remember that tomorrow with all the 60,000 thoughts? Will that stick in your mind? Make us talking about a Diddy freak off party? Rule 18. If you want to change the way others treat you, you should first change the way you treat yourself. Fully and sincerely, there is no way you can be loved. Once you achieve that stage, let me read that again. Did I read that wrong? If you want to change the way others treat you, you should first change the way you treat yourself fully and sincerely. There is no way you can be loved. Once you achieve that stage, however, be thankful for every thorn that others might throw at you. It is a sign you will soon be showered in roses. I don't understand that one. Rule 18. Do you guys get that one? I don't know. Rule 19. Fret not where the road will take you. Instead, concentrate on the first step. That's good. That is the hardest part, and that is what you are responsible for. Once you take this step, let everything do what it naturally does, and the rest will follow. Don't go with the flow, be the flow. Wow. Can I tell you what that reminds me of? When I was a young man, I got some really good advice from my dentist, believe it or not, that stuck with me. Talking about a bit of information that sticks over the 60,000 thoughts a day. And then for all those years, it still stayed with me. And I remember sitting in his chair and I was trying to find my life purpose. I was in my early 20s and didn't know what I was going to do with my life. His son was a friend of mine growing up, and he had become a dentist. And I couldn't wrap my mind around how could someone like my age had gone to school and college and become a dentist, a doctor. I was still an idiot. And I was like, how does that happen? And that's the advice he gave me. He said, take the first step. What is it you love? And I thought about it. I said, I love boats. He said, okay, well, what's the first step? And I said, I guess it would be to make a phone call and find a school where I can get my 100-ton captain's license. He said, okay, well, when you get done here with your teeth, go home and take that first step. Don't wait. Don't talk yourself out of it. Go home, make that call, find that school, sign up, and get going. Be the flow. Make it happen. And I mean, it was a big part of my life. Rule 20. You guys about ready for some more music? Let me read 20 and then I'll play some more music. I wish I could talk to you guys to see if you're okay, if you're still with me. If you are, just go to the comments because it helps me next time I make a video. Rule 20 says we are all created in his image, and yet we're each created different and unique. No two people are alike. No hearts beat to the same rhythm. If God had wanted everyone to be the same, he would have made it so. Therefore, disrespecting differences and imposing your thoughts on others is an amount to disrespecting God's holy scheme. Wow. Can you see the God in others, the good in others? Beautiful. All right, let's play some more music and we'll be back with Rule 21. I love, love, love you guys. Enjoy. I'll be right back.
ਪੜ ਇਲਮ ਤੇ ਫਾਜ਼ਲ ਹੋਇਓ ਵੇ ਕਦੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਪੜਿਆ ਨਾ ਭੱਜ ਭੱਜ ਵੜਨੇ ਮੰਦਰ ਮਸੀਤੀ ਵੀ ਕਦੇ ਮਨ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੜਿਆ ਨਾ ਲੜਨਾ ਸ਼ੈਤਾਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੇ ਕਦੇ ਨਫਸ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਲੜਿਆ ਨਾ ਬੁੱਲੇ ਸ਼ਾਹ ਅਸਮਾਨੀ ਉੱਡਦੀਆਂ ਫੜੋ ਨਹੀਂ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਘਰ ਬੈਠਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਫੜਿਆ ਨਾ करियो यार इल्म हसी करियो यार हसी करियो यार इल्म हसी करियो यार इतो अलफ तेरे दर का अलवी तेरे दर का अब बस करियो यार इल्म बस करियो यार अल्लाह साया अल्लाह साया अल्लाह साया अल्लाह साया जो ना जाने हक की ताकत जो ना जाने हक की ताकत जो ना जाने हक की ताकत रब ना देवे उसको हिम्मत रब ना देवे उसको हिम्मत हम मन के दरिया में डूबे हम मन के कैसी नैया क्या मंजदार बस करियो यार sayang Allah, 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 sayang Allah,
I'm so happy to be sharing with you one of the loves of my life, Sufism, Sufi poetry, music. We're on Rule 21. It says, when a true lover of God goes into a tavern, the tavern becomes his chamber of prayer. But when a wine bibber goes into the same chamber, it becomes his tavern. In everything we do, it is our hearts that make the difference, not our outer appearance. Sufis do not judge other people on how they look or who they are. When a Sufi stares at someone, he keeps both eyes closed, instead opens a third eye that sees the inner realm. Rule 22, life is a temporary loan, and this world is nothing but a sketchy imitation of reality. Our children would mistake a toy for the real thing, and yet human beings either become infatuated with a toy or disrespectfully break it and throw it aside. If this life stays away from all kinds of extremities, for they will destroy your inner balance, Sufis do not go to extremes. A Sufi always remains mild and moderate. I'm working on that one myself. I've always been a little extreme. Rule 23, the human being has a unique place among God's creation. I breathed into him of my spirit, God says. Each and every one of us, without expectation, is designed to be God's delegate on earth. Ask yourself, just how often do you behave like a delegate? If you ever do so at all, remember, it falls upon each of us to discover the divine spirit inside and live by it. Wow. Rule 24, hell is in the here and now, and so is heaven. Quit worrying about hell or dreaming about heaven, as they are both present inside this very moment. Every time we fall in love, we ascend to heaven. Every time we hate, envy, or fight, we tumble straight into the fires of hell. Rule 25, each and every reader comprehends the Holy Quran on a different level of tandem with the depth of his understanding. I touched on this a little earlier. Listen to this. There are 4 levels of insight. The first level is the outer meaning, and it is the one that the majority of the people are content with. Next is the batin, the inner level. Third is the inner of the inner. And the 4th level is so deep it cannot be put into words and is therefore bound to remain indescribable. Rule 26, the universe is one being. Everything and everyone is interconnected through an invisible web of stories. Whether we are aware of it or not, we are all in a silent conversation. Do no harm, practice compassion, and do not gossip behind anyone's back, not even a seemingly innocent remark. The words that come out of our mouths do not vanish, but are perpetually stored in infinite space, and they will come back to us in due time. One man's pain will hurt us all. One man's joy will make everyone smile. Is that beautiful, guys? Are you loving this? Whatever you speak, good or evil, will somehow come back to you. Therefore, if there is someone who harbors ill thoughts about you, saying similarly bad things about him will only make matters worse. You will be locked in a vicious circle of malevolent energy. Instead, for 40 days and nights, say and think nice things about that person. Everything will be different at the end of 40 days because you will be different inside. That's everything right there. Rule 27. Everything's in that. Rule 28. The past is an interpretation. The future is an illusion. The world does not move through time as if it were a straight line proceeding from past to future. Instead, time moves through and within us in endless spirals. Eternity does not mean infinite time, but simply timelessness. If you want to experience eternal illumination, put the past and the future out of your mind and remain within the present moment. Rule 29. Destiny doesn't mean that your life has been strictly predetermined. Therefore, to live everything to the fate and to not actively contribute to the music of the universe is a sign of sheer ignorance. The music of the universe is all-pervading, and it is composed on 40 different levels. Your destiny is the level where you play your tune. You might not change your instrument, but how well to play is entirely in your hands. Wow. Rule 30, the true Sufi is such that even when he is unjustly accused, attacked, and condemned from all sides, he patiently endures, uttering not a single bad word about any of his critics. A Sufi never apportions blame. How can there be opponents or rivals or even others when there is no self in the first place? How can there be anyone to blame when there is only one? You know, as I'm reading these, I'm thinking and meditating on them. For instance, we could spend a whole video just discussing that and breaking that down. Really beautiful. Rule 31, if you want to strengthen your faith, you will need to soften inside. For your faith to be rock solid, your heart needs to be as soft as a feather. It's taking me to Ma'at, right? The Egyptian scale and the feather in the heart. If you want to strengthen your faith, you will need to soften inside. For your faith to be a rock solid, your heart needs to be as soft as a feather. Through an illness, accident, loss, or fright, one way or another, we are all faced with incidents that teach us how to become less selfish and judgmental and more compassionate and generous. Yet some of us learn the lessons and manage to become milder, while some others end up becoming even harsher than before. Rule 32, nothing should stand between you and God. No imams, priests, rabbis, or any other custodians of moral or religious leadership. Not spiritual masters and not even your faith. Believe in your values and your rules, but never lord them over others. If you keep breaking other people's hearts, whatever religious duty you perform is no good. Stay away from all sorts of idolatry, for they will blur your vision. Let God and only God be your guide. Learn the truth, my friend, but be careful not to make a fetish out of your truths. Rule 33, while everyone in this world strives to get somewhere and become someone, only to leave it all behind after death, you aim for the supreme stage of nothingness. Live this life as light and empty as the number 0. We are no different from a pot. It is not the decorations outside, but the emptiness inside that holds us straight. Just like that, it is not what we aspire to achieve, but the consciousness of nothingness that keeps us going. Do you guys have any ideas on that? That's one I'd have to meditate on. I wasn't able to wrap my mind fully around that. Rule 34, submission does not mean being weak or passive. It leads to neither fatalism nor capitulation, just the opposite. True power resides in submission, a power that comes within. Those who submit to the divine essence of life will live in unperturbed tranquility and peace, even when the whole wide world goes through turbulence after turbulence. That's beautiful. Rule 35, in this world, it is not similarities or regularities that take us a step forward, but blunt opposites. And all the opposites in the universe are present within each and every one of us. Therefore, the believer needs to meet the unbeliever residing within, and the non-believer should get to know the silent faithful in him. Until the day one reaches the stage of insane Camille, the perfect human being, faith is a gradual process and one that necessitates its seeming opposite, disbelief. Again, we're reading through all 40, and I know seeds are being planted, but really each one of these needs to be given the time and the meditation on every word. Hello, Tinko. Let me grab my dog. We'll be right back with Rule 36. Okay, I'm back. Puppies wanted to be in Daddy's lap again. They keep getting up and down. So we're at Rule 36. I'm only going to read half of Rule 36 because I don't understand the second half enough to talk about it. But the first part's very important. It says, the world is erected upon the principle of reciprocity. Neither a drop of kindness nor a speck of evil will remain unreciprocated. That's powerful. Rule 37, God is a meticulous clockmaker, so precise is his order that everything on earth happens in its own time, neither a minute late nor a minute early, and for everyone without exception. The clock works accurately. For each there's a time to love and a time to die. Rule 38, it is never too late to ask yourself, am I ready to change the life I am living? Am I ready to change within? That's beautiful. To change your life, the outside life, you have to ask, am I ready to change within? Even if a single day in your life is the same as the day before, it surely is a pity. At every moment and with each new breath, one should be renewed and renewed again. There's only one way to be born into a new life, to die before death. Rule 39. While the part changed, the whole always remains the same. For every thief who departs this world, a new one is born. And every decent person who passes away is replaced by a new one. In this way, not only does nothing remain the same, but also nothing ever really changes. For every Sufi who dies, another is born somewhere. I don't know about that. Rule 40. A life without love is of no account. Don't ask yourself what kind of love you should seek, spiritual or material, divine or mundane, Eastern or Western. Divisions only lead to more divisions. Love has no labels, no definitions. It is what is pure and simple. Love is the water of life, and a lover is a soul of fire. The universe turns differently when fire loves water. Wow. So beautiful. Oh, what a great time. Did you guys enjoy that? Please let me know. If you guys want to do more of this, I've got book after book on Sufism, if you love that. And I feel confident teaching Sufism just in the way that I really do feel like it's an extension of Zoroastrianism, the teachings of truth and the masters. I did notice some differences, but a lot of the truths, a lot of the same ideas. So beautiful. All right, guys, be blessed and know I love you.